Hello and welcome to EV Car Share. It's a Thursday morning in October. You can see it's pretty dark out there. We are pre 7 AM now. I left around 6 o'clock this morning on the way down to Southampton. So this is another road trip style video. I've done, let me just take a look, I've done 39 miles already, 49 minutes, still got another 108 miles to get down there, and then of course a day's work and then heading back again straight away this evening. Should be fine, don't need to charge on the way down, will need to charge on the way back because it's a bit over 300 miles in total. Heading down, I've done this one before, but doing it again, heading down via the M25 this time rather than around via Oxford. I'll see what the difference is. Hopefully the traffic's not too bad. Okay, so stopped, grabbed myself a coffee because when you leave early in the morning you kind of need to grab a coffee or something on the way. So I've got that for the rest of the way. Better get on the move. Right, so this is Bulldog Services. You can see that the Ionity charge points there are pretty much completely clear. There's just one car charging, this Astra, who seems to have plugged in around the opposite side of the car. Don't know why he didn't use a different position. But hey, tight squeeze past the vans. But it certainly seems that if you were wanting to charge here this time of morning, it's not a busy time. So you would certainly get in at the Ionity charge points, and at the end here there are some grid serve ones as well. You just see ahead of you, bright lights of that lorry aren't too bright, and they're free as well, both of those. So those support CHAdeMO and are a slower charge if that's what you want. So charging availability infrastructure here at Bulldog is fine at this time in the morning. Obviously it could be different on the way back. Ionity is what I'm going to be using when I return. I'm thinking of charging just up the M3 before I reach London. There's an Ionity there with 12 bays, which I'll probably use rather than waiting until I come this far up. But we will see. As I say, trip to Southampton, left this morning from home around 6ish, just before 6, straight down the A1, and I'll be doing the M25 in a little while, the car park around London as they often call it, and then the M3 after that, and that will take me to Southampton. Hopefully the traffic will be relatively kind to me. Obviously this time of day in the UK you will get traffic, there will be hold-ups, you kind of have to accept it. But hopefully it's not going to be too bad. So we get up onto the A1. Yep, lots of traffic, people going about their business, and the sky is just starting to, just starting to get sunrise around. So you just see the sky starting to brighten, lighten slightly, some nice red colours in the sky there, as we start to see the blue pushing through. It is a minute past 7. October the 23rd. And the sun is starting to rise. I want to get in that other lane, see if someone will let me in after that guy, I think, maybe. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, whoever is behind me. Try and make some progress. So there you can see the Kia sat-nav. You're able to show overview of the routes in the right hand side and then the directions and stuff on the left hand side. I find that a useful feature. Allows me to see what's ahead, what the whole overview of the route is like without having to change screens, which is great. I like to know whether things are snarled up in a certain area, whether there's bits of red. I might be able to detour around if I know the local area or something a bit. So yeah, that's good. And today, as you can see, it's looking relatively clear for a morning passing around the M25 heading to the south of England, so I'm perfectly happy with that. ETA is 9:21 and the car thinks I will get there with 39% of my battery remaining, which sounds about right, to be fair. Normally the car's a little bit pessimistic. Maybe that's a little bit pessimistic. Maybe I'll get there with 40, 45, low 40s maybe. But I think it's fairly good estimation, that, to be honest. When I first got into the car this morning, it said 266 miles of range from 99% battery. I had been preheating the cabin before I left, so that's why it was 99%, 100% battery. But it said 266 miles. I've done 56 and it's telling me there's 219 left, so we're looking at 266 miles still, pretty much, if you add those together. So it seems it predicted pretty well before I left. Obviously got the air conditioning, got heating, HVAC, climate control, whatever you want to call it. Just got that on. 21 degrees this morning, which is doing me perfectly nicely. Temperature outside currently 10 degrees. It started a little bit cooler this morning than it has been in previous days, but all is looking good. No problem so far. And so up onto the M25. So this is, for anyone who doesn't know, this is the motorway that goes around the outside of London. So it does a complete ring around London. It's 3 and 4 lanes quite commonly. So here we are on 4 lanes, but where it cuts down to fewer lanes, often it will choke up a little bit as the traffic struggles to squeeze through the gaps. Of course, there are busy sections and less busy sections. Hopefully this morning it will serve me well. It's turned into quite a nice day today. Sunshine, no clouds, little puffs of mist every so often because it's still quite cold this morning, but it's quite clear. Looks like we're going to have a blue sky day this October. And to add to that, the M25 is flowing beautifully. Looking at 9:24 on the sat-nav ETA, seems that my missed junction around South Mims wasn't quite the disaster it appeared to have been, according to sat-nav. ETA for battery is 38% now, so that's looking pretty good too. I've done 79 miles, 1 hour 45 minutes, 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. I'd say all is good. Oh, and by the way, I am keeping up with the traffic in front. It's just that on the camera things appear further into the distance than they actually are. So when you think that car, that Toyota, is a long way ahead and I should be pulling left, that's not the case. It's just the optics of the camera, that's all. And I'm sure you can see we're still passing cars to the left. Trudging pretty slowly around the M25 at the moment. As you can see, queuing traffic around the M40 junction, which is kind of to be expected. It's what happens. Sat nav saying arrival time 9:28, so a little bit later than it was earlier on, but not massive change. Also says I will arrive to my destination with 39% battery, so it's looking pretty good in that respect. Looking like my prediction will probably be correct actually, that we'll arrive with a little over 40. Usually that value is a bit pessimistic. I'll normally arrive a bit more. Currently 71% battery, done 86 miles, and the car is telling me I have 190 miles left in the battery, and I am 66 miles from destination. So take 66 off 190 left in the battery, that gives me, what will that be, 124. So yeah, I'll need to charge on the way home. Not fully, but enough to get me home. That's the plan. That's the way I normally do it. If I can charge as little on the roadside, then that's the best way of doing things. It speeds up your journey and it reduces your costs. Okay, so passing Heathrow now on the M25. Just saw one plane going down to land. Don't know if we'll see any others crossing our path. Sometimes you get a nice view of an aeroplane kind of coming straight over the motorway. Don't think I'm going to be that lucky on this occasion. I think we won't see one, although there is one coming in from the right at the moment. I think I might pass by before it comes to land, so we might miss that one. Then once we pass this junction, it will be on to the M3 and onwards towards Southampton. So a plane coming from my right, it's going to pretty much fly over the top of me, I think. You'll just miss it on the camera, but maybe you'll see it. It's coming right now. So now queuing to get off the M25 onto the M3, following behind a guy in a Lexus who seems to be smoking out of his tailpipe and also smoking out of his window. Tailpipe? Did I say tailpipe? I meant exhaust. Not American. I'm English. Anyway, off he goes, the other way. Big puffs, there you go, he's sticking his arm out again with his fag, dropping his ash all over the road. Lovely. But yeah, I guess he's not a zero emissions vehicle and he's not a zero emissions driver either. But hey, all to their own, he can do whatever he wishes. And now you join me on the M3, so we've left the M25 onto the M3, little roadwork section here, so reduced speed limit, hovering around 50 mile an hour. Still on for 9:38 now, time of arrival. Estimated battery on arrival 39%. Currently have 68% remaining and 175 predicted miles, having done 99.4 miles. So in a moment 100 miles will pass. 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour is the average according to the dash, and it's taken 2 hours 38 minutes to get to this point. So a bit of a slower journey than would be ideal, but fairly much as expected. If I was doing Peterborough to Southampton in 3 hours or less, I'd be astonished. Busy down here on the M3 as well, heading down towards Southampton from London now. It's holding up to the speed limit just about, so reduced speed limit of 50 mile an hour because of the roadworks, and we're doing high 40s, 50, that sort of speed. So not slowing me down particularly. Quite misty, still misty in the trees here, hasn't cleared yet. You can see the blue sky beyond the mist. I think on the camera the mist doesn't really show and you just see the blue sky much more, which is nice, so enjoy the blue sky. All is good, and there are no more hold-ups predicted along the route, so my arrival at 9:38-ish should be pretty secure, which is nice. Just approaching Southampton, you can see another EV6 just there, heading off on the left slip. I'm off on the right slip. He's going Southampton west, I'm going Southampton east. Goodbye, Mr. EV6. They are relatively popular around here. I don't mean around Southampton particularly, I mean in the UK. Now you see a fair few of them about, seems to have sold well. Now on the A33, it looks like it could have gone either way. I've chosen this way. The guy chose the other way, maybe he's also going the A33, or maybe he's off towards the west instead, who knows. But here we go, I'm off down the slips of the A33, so I'm going to Southampton Science Park. ETA is still 9:39, which is grand. The estimated battery on arrival is 46, currently at 48. I have done 149 miles, so almost 150. The car says I've got 127 left. So on the way back I will need to gain another 30 miles plus buffer, I guess. So if we call it another 50 miles to be added, something like that. Should be about right. All is good. So down to this roundabout, and then turn back on myself, and then immediately off just after the Shell garage. So all the way around the roundabout. It's clear. Roundabout. This way, otherwise I only go back to London on the M3 and I don't want that. Then left lane, come off left here. There's a sign, Southampton Science Park. So we are looking good. So 3 hours 27 minutes is taken to this point. So 3.5 hours of driving. 52% at the moment of battery used. Probably about 53 when I get there, I should think. So just over half the battery used on this journey. Means I'll need a 5-minute or so top up on the way back. And here we are. This is the Southampton Science Park. I need to be somewhere right in the middle of it. Past the nursery. You always get one of those on these science parks these days. Somewhere for the workers to take their kids for the day. Okay, and so we're here. So that's the journey done and dusted, at least down to Southampton from Peterborough, this part at least. So little stats update. It took 3 hours 32 minutes. It was 152 miles. Car says 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour. I think that's wrong. I think the efficiency is actually higher than what the car reads. I think there's a bit of a discrepancy there. I have 47% battery remaining, so it took 53%. Which means I will need to recharge on the way back, but only for like 10% or something, which will be fine. What else? That's about it, I guess. Nice sunny day, wasn't windy or rainy. Temperatures between 10 and 13 degrees, so not ideal for electric car, but not that it's going to cause a problem, as you can obviously tell. Car says I have 126 miles remaining in the battery, so I will get a good way up my route before I need to recharge, although because of where the best Ionity stop is, I'm going to recharge early in my journey back rather than later. Picking Ionity because I've just activated an Ionity passport level, which means I get much lower cost Ionity. Instead of paying 74p, I pay 43p with this membership. I got the membership for free because I did a survey for them back at the beginning of the year, and one of the rewards for that was getting the 3 months Ionity for free. Well, not for free, so I have to pay for the charging, but the Ionity membership level, the passport highest level, can't remember what it's called, power or something, get that for free, so I get cheaper charging. So in that respect, all is good, and I will catch up with you on the journey back.